Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host. And when we went to break, you could see I was just enchanted with my conversation with Alameda County Superior Court Judge Gordon Baranco, who is retired. Gordon, how did you become interested in law? Was it because your father was a probation officer, or did it have something else?
I think you might, this might have been the case with you also. I was a child in the 50s and 60s. I had relatives in our extended family who would come out here and visit us from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And first thing they'd say when they got off the train is, Gordon, what are you going to do with yourself? What are you going to be? My parents also wanted to make sure that their children had balance in their life, and that you have to have some direction. My father always said, got to get an education, you have to behave, and then you have to do something for somebody else. Just so happened, along those early years, I heard about Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall.
I heard about Brown versus Board of Education. I was a little boy.
1954.
I also heard about Rosa Parks.
Yes.
And I also, going to the barbershop, pulled out Jet magazine and saw Emmett Till.
Oh, yeah.
And my father always said to me, he says, you know, you're pretty argumentative and hard-headed, Gordon. You might think about becoming a lawyer, because those might be the traits that you need. And I got very interested in politics, and I felt that lawyers at that time were the people who were invested in social change. And so also to shut up these people who keep asking me at church and everywhere else, what are you going to be? I said, I'm going to be a lawyer.
All right.
And that was it. That was really it. And I never changed. I didn't know what a lawyer did, but it never changed.
Well, speaking of Rosa Parks, I had the honor of being at the White House last week when President Joe Biden gave Fred D. Gray the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Fred Gray represented Rosa Parks when she refused to go to the back of the bus. He was only 24 years old, just out of Case Western Reserve Law School at the time. So it is so important that we make a difference when we go into the field of law. Now, what was your first legal position when you decided when you graduated from law school?
When I graduated from law school, I was hired in the State Attorney General's office as what they call a graduate legal assistant. The person, I have to mention his name, who was instrumental in me getting that job was a man named Wiley.
First black on the Supreme Court of California.
One of the smartest people walking the streets, one of the most humble people you would ever meet, and always did things quietly, but always with a purpose. That's how I got that job. And he had hired me the summer before as a law clerk, and they didn't even have a law clerk program until Wiley came up with one. And as a result, a number of us got those jobs. But that was my first job. And it was very, I enjoyed it, but I had to pass the bar exam before I could become a lawyer. And so after I left that job, my first job as a lawyer was as a deputy district attorney in the San Francisco
And how long were you there?
At the San Francisco District Attorney's Office, I was there about 3.5 years.
Oh, okay.
I was at the AG's office, I was there about 9 months. And then after the district attorney's office, I consulted with some friends of mine who are people who you and I have looked up to. Benjamin Travis, Wiley Emanuel, Richard Bancroft, Hiram Smith. And I said, I think I need to leave the district attorney's office and work in the community. Hiram said, I got just a job for you. And he made me the managing attorney at the Bayview Hunters Point office in San Francisco.
I remember that.
3rd and Mendel. And he said, yeah, because you need to get back here with the community. And I represented tenants, people who couldn't pay their bills. And it was really a good experience, and it helped balance my legal experience. My ultimate goal at that time was I was going to be a criminal and constitutional law lawyer in my old
But
neighborhood.
something happened, right?
Oh, yeah, something.
And what happened? You became a judge? How did that happen? Now tell us all about
What
that.
happened was when I was a DA, I'd go to these judges and I was winning everything. And then when I started representing poor people, I wasn't winning anything. And I said, you know, something's wrong with this. And these judges, these are the same judges. I said, something's wrong with this. I can do that job. I can do that job. And
you made application.
I had to make an application. They don't call you and say, Gordon, would you like to be a judge? You have to make the application, which is what I did with the support of Wiley Manuel and so many other, and Ben Travis and so many other people. And eventually I became, at the age of 32, I became a judge.
One of the youngest in Alameda County's history, right?
People always say that, and I assume that's true. All I knew is I wanted the job, and I got it, and I was so happy.
Well, I remember the day you were appointed. That shows we go a long ways back.
Oh, boy. It was very special, though. Very special.
And what was your first assignment?
My first assignment, I was a municipal court judge. In California, we don't have municipal courts anymore.
Not anymore.
But you have to be a lawyer for at least 5 years to qualify for that. And by that time, I'd been a lawyer for 7 years. And I worked in a lot of criminal law and some civil law. And I enjoyed it. But there also is the second trial court is called the Superior Court. And after a few years as a municipal court judge, I applied for the Superior Court. We have to be a lawyer or a judge for at least 10 years. And I was very fortunate in both instances that I got appointed. I was appointed by a Democratic governor for municipal court and a Republican governor for Superior Court.
And it didn't matter because you were really an outstanding judge. And unfortunately, now we got to go to break. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is the Honorable Gordon Baranco, Alameda County Superior Court, retired.